Hello and blessings. My name is Rama. Welcome to the Yoga Crow instructional series. Today we're talking about the classical handstand, or rather a few components that will make handstanding much easier, much more successful as well. Now what we're talking about is strength, shape, and balance. Strength, shape, and balance are the three components needed for a solid handstand practice. The strength is self-explanatory. That's having the ability to support your own body weight with the arms. The shape is comparable to mobility, but also to spatial awareness. Shape is understanding how to position your body in order to find the most effective form of balance. Now, there's an interesting relationship between these first two components. If I have proper shape, I need less strength. If my shape is somewhat subpar, then I will need more strength. So you can see the relationship, and therefore we understand that developing more shape, developing proper shape, that in many ways is going to be a far more valuable tool, a more valuable way to spend your time. Now, when you have adequate amounts of these first two components, when you have enough strength, you have enough shape, then naturally the balance will start to happen on its own. This is essentially proper preparation personified. That's a lot of P's, but essentially if you prepare the system, then balance will become a little bit more effortless. Now we start first by fine-tuning our shape, and one of the best postures for fine-tuning the shape is puppy pose. This is the area, the shoulders. For most people, that is the area that is going to be most problematic when it comes to the classical handstand. In order to find a straight line, you need to be able to get at least 180 degrees of shoulder flexion. This exercise, puppy pose, will help you get there. Now, how we set up for puppy pose is a kneeling position. You want to keep the hips directly over top of the knees, reaching your arms forward. Now, traditionally, you would come on the fingertips, but for today, we're going to go into more external rotation. So you come to the knife side edge of the hands. Think about keeping the knife side edge of the hands down and almost rolling to the backs of the hands. Now, from here, I think about melting my chest down towards the ground. Now, this is one variation on puppy pose, but you can see that the majority of the movement is coming through my spine. My back is arching, and that's why my chest is coming so close towards the floor. Now, when I want to focus on the shoulders, I need to stay very active. What it means is I think about tucking my tailbone under, pulling my ribs in towards the spine so that I can isolate and feel the sensation through only the shoulders themselves. This is a very active posture, and we would work to stay in this position for about 1 to 3 minutes until we eventually ease off and relax. The best exercise or one of the best exercises, I should say, for developing your shoulder flexibility, puppy pose, something you should do ideally 7 days per week. If you are serious about your handstand practice, 5 to 7 days per week, you'll start to see some serious improvement. Now, once you have decent flexibility, 180 degrees at the shoulders, you can start to actually load weight onto the hands. A few wall exercises that will help us to develop more strength and more shape: chest to wall diagonal hold and chest to wall nose, hips, and toes. So let's run through these two exercises together. For the chest to wall diagonal, we want to think about planting our hands about 1.5 feet away from the wall. The farther away you move the hands, the more difficult this posture will be. So what we want to do is start first by planting the hands, again, about 1.5 feet away from the wall. If you need, it can be a little bit farther, and then you might have to walk the hands in. That's no problem at all. Once you get the hands set, start to walk the feet up the wall. Feet are going up the wall. My toes can stay flexed, but you'll notice that right now my shoulders are stacked directly over top of the wrists. In order to perform the chest to wall diagonal hold, I think about creating a straight line from my heels through my hips, through my shoulders. So I'm actually pressing my chest toward the wall. My shoulders going past the wrists, and this is a very active position. Probably one of the only handstand drills where I actually shake. We stay here and we're thinking about constantly pushing the earth away, keeping the tailbone tucking under and squeezing through the core. When it's time to come down, gently shift the shoulders forward, walk the feet back down the wall, and come to your standing position. Now, typically you would want to hold for at least 30 seconds. 3 sets. And over time, as this becomes a little bit easier, you start to increase the intensity. Now, the second hold, which is going to help you to develop more shape, this diagonal hold is primarily for strength, but this next exercise is more for shape, is chest to wall, nose, hips, and toes. Now, this one is a little bit intimidating because it requires that you walk your hands all the way in toward the wall. For some people, this can be a little bit scary, so it can be a nice idea to work with a partner, a spotter, just somebody there to have the hands on your hips and gently help you come towards the wall. Now, we would set up for this wall hold the exact same way, planting the hands, and this time walking the feet up the wall and walking the hands in toward the wall. I come as close as possible, and then I think pushing my nose, my hips, and my toes in toward the wall. Essentially what I'm doing is I'm using the wall to create a straight line through the body. This is one way that you can enhance your ability to hold a straight line. And essentially, after practicing this for a number of weeks on end, your body will naturally remember this straight line. So when it comes time for freestanding handstand, your body will remember this shape. When it's time to come down, walk the hands away. Again, it can be helpful to have a spotter to help you walk away, and then bring the feet down the wall. Rolling up, relaxing. The same quantities, about 30 seconds to start, 3 sets, and gradually start to increase the intensity. That could mean longer holds, that could mean more sets, that could also mean less rest in between your reps. Okay, so practicing these few exercises will give you the needed boost to strength, shape, and balance, and eventually you'll start to feel some success in your classical handstand. I hope these tips are helpful. Thank you very much for joining me. Om Namah Shivaya. Namaste.